Okay, hello, welcome to the stream. How y'all doing? Welcome. Actually starting on time today for once. Past few days that has not happened due to circumstances. But today we start on time, woohoo! Alright. Let's get you loaded up. Yo! Miku with the 8 months? One more month till we have a Twitch, baby. Yo, Miku, how's it going? Welcome to the stream and thank you for the resub. Hi. God, this music is... This song is such a jam. Alright, so welcome back to more Danganronpa. Last time, some shit went down. We started chapter 3. We found a laptop that Chihiro had left behind with an AI on it of himself, to try and decrypt some info on the laptop to try and get us some information. Taka lost his mind a little bit and started acting like Mondo. Then the laptop got stolen, and while trying to find said laptop and who stole it, both Hifumi was kidnapped by some person in a fucking Transformers style robot costume. And then he was attacked and followed. Well, Celeste followed because she saw it. She was attacked but survived. And then Hifumi was attacked and seemed to be okay. Then Taka was murdered. And then Hifumi was also murdered. So we have 2 murders, as well as someone who has betraying the group and stole the laptop, and we have to figure out who the fuck is behind it. And also Kyoko and Hiro are still missing, and we don't know where the hell they are. So those are both, right now, suspects of being behind either one of these things, because they are both just not around. So we just, we ended on finding out both murders and then both bodies disappearing, and we are now basically just at this very start of investigation, I believe. Actually, I forget where I was supposed to go. Oh, this chapter. Oh, have you actually played this before, Mika? I actually wasn't aware that you'd played this. Family emergency thing, so no work today because there's no way that I can focus. I'm sorry to hear that, but at least you can have a day off from work. At least that's one kind of nice thing. Gotta be working today, so I might be in and out of the stream, but for now I'll be able to watch. You were trying to find the bodies that disappeared. Yes, that was, well, that's the main thing, but I forget where exactly if the game told me to go to a specific place. Oh, Toko is still fucking out on the ground. Are you gonna get up anytime soon? Oh yeah, we don't have to worry about anybody else dying because of the whole rule of only 2 murders can happen. Taka's entire body's disappeared, leaving behind nothing but a bloodstain. This is the thing, right? I mean, who would have the strength and speed to be able to somehow jump between here and the other floor to steal both of these bodies and move them quickly enough to hide somewhere? Like, has some weird thing happened where Hifumi and Kyoko are like working together or some shit? I don't even know. I'm honestly very I honestly have no idea what could possibly be happening in the story right now, but I guess we'll see. Toko, you good? She is not good. She out. Some random point she's gonna pop up as mass murder, genocide Jill and start being annoying as all hell. I guess we'll just start looking around. I've watched people play, and this chapter was an interesting one for sure. Ah, so you've watched playthroughs of this, you've not actually, sorry about the spoiler yesterday. You're good, man. I mean, it's fine. Luckily I didn't actually see the spoiler. All I saw was the words chapter 6, or a 16th character, which I knew, or basically assumed there was obviously a 16th character because of the whole there being a missing spot and the trial room and stuff. But I didn't see anything else, luckily, in the message before I just removed it. So I think partially me having really bad eyesight, I think, is pretty helpful there, because I was able to stop myself from reading something that I didn't want to read if I just didn't focus on it, which was nice. My bad eyesight actually helping me avoid spoilers. There's a lot to unpack. True. There's a lot going on all of a sudden. Need to search for the bodies that have disappeared. What happened after that? Where could 2 dead bodies have disappeared to? Where indeed? Huh? The door must be locked. Well, that seems suspicious, that the door's locked. Donut Queen. True. Hina and Katakuri would get on very well. This is where Celeste was attacked, but she seems fine. It does seem. I mean, they are together a lot. They're besties, at least, for sure. Been a while since I've seen a playthrough of this, which is why I remember this. Bits and pieces, but it's still an interesting game overall. I need to beat the second game still. True. Definitely gonna play definitely gonna play more games in this series for sure. It's a pretty interesting game. Although I said that about Ace Attorney, and I never played another one of them. I need to at some point play another Ace Attorney game, because I played the first one and I did enjoy it, but I just never got around to playing another one. Hey Celeste. Oh, why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. Huh?
Indeed.
I found them. Oh, Hifumi and Taka's bodies have been hidden in the repository?
Goodbye.
I've already told Hina and Sakura we'll go on ahead. Their bodies were in the repository? Oh, yeah, the repository. I totally remember where that is. Totally remember where that is. Yep, that's what I thought, because that was the door that was locked. Cool. Derek said the trilogy was on sale on Switch. Oh, well, not on sale, but it was on the Switch now. Yeah, the trilogy's been on the Switch for a while. I have thought about picking it up just so I can play the other 2 games. Are the bodies here somewhere? They're in there. I guess it's unlocked and I have no choice but to go inside. Why was it locked before? I opened the door and when I entered, I saw... Yep. There the boys are. 2 bodies had disappeared The two bodies that had disappeared were here. Oh, and where the same room as where the murder weapons were. Also, this is so. I mean, obviously, this is where one, the person took the murder weapons from, and two, also, I'm assuming, made or found the costume they've been wearing. So, smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. And then I heard the announcement for the second time. There we go.
A body has been discovered after a certain amount of...
Yeah. And so here we are. Gonna hand them out when you found the body the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but it turns out I was right. Just hand it over already. Now, make sure to investigate with all of your mental might and prepare for the class trial. See you later. Well, and now that we found the bodies, all that's left is to uncover the culprit.
What the heck?
Hold on. How can you be so calm? That's literally all he ever is. What are you talking about, Hina? I mean, the fact that you really shouldn't be surprised at the way he acts at this point. I mean, seriously. If I need a bit of help, if I'm so desperate for help that I want advice, I will specifically ask. If I don't specifically say, "Hey, chat, help me. How do I do this?" then do not give hints on anything. I want to figure out everything myself. I think it's very, very rarely in games will I ask the chat to specifically tell me what I need to do. Usually I like to figure out things for myself. So I will ask you not to tell me how to do things. I mean, they're dead, you know?
That's terrible.
Dead, gone forever, they're never coming back. Awful, this is all just too awful. Hina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Fumi's lifeless body. I'm
Who would do this?
shocked that she cares that much about Hifumi, to be honest. He's just, I don't know. I really didn't like Hifumi. He was so just very creepy and weird as fuck. Who would do this? Why? Large wet tears fell from her eyes. Tears landed on Hifumi's cheeks. If this was, as if this were some kind of make-believe that might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes. But this wasn't a movie. Oh my god, it fucking did do it though. How is he alive? This wasn't...
He's alive again?
Where am I?
Cold. So cold. Is winter coming?
Well then.
Hifumi, wake up!
Huh? Ah, that's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
Come on, you gotta wake up!
He's actually alive. How?
I remember everything before I met you all. I met you all.
What? His memories are all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light. It's reaching out to me like the tail of a comet.
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasu.
Yasu?
Hero.
I was hero. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for the second time. Absolute undeniable death. No matter how many more tears of no matter how many more of Hina's tears splashed his face, there was no second miracle. Reality set in again. This isn't some stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly.
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return just to leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
Then perhaps...
Yasuhiro Hagaguri. That is the only person he could have been referring to.
So in other words...
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi, and then going so far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face behind a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
What is this?
If it's true, I can't forgive him. No way can I ever forgive him. To kill 2 of our friends? Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in our little life or death game here. Although this time it's not all that life or death, the trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look that way. It's going to begin again. We have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with this to make sure everyone survives. I just have to do it. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's not as simple as, oh, Yasuhiro did it and that's it. Just a wild guess that that's not going to be the case. I guess we'll find out the more we discover. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The case of the death for each was a blow to the head. It is thought that they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
It's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. This is no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than... We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma file could, anyway. Maybe. Who the fuck is Hiro? He's the guy with the big, like, dreads and afro. The big, he's kind of doofy. He was the clairvoyant guy. That guy. Yeah, I know. At this point in the game, you should know better than to entertain the obvious suspect. It's literally, yeah, it's never the person. Well, except Leon. In that case, it was pretty much, it was him. Just because I guess that was their way of just introducing a very easy trial. It was pretty much like 5 minutes into the investigation. I was like, oh, it's Leon, and then it was him. But other than that, it's usually not been the first person you use, I think. So normally how it goes, they set up one way and then it's boom, left or right field. Pretty much. Maybe. There's something else that's bothering me. Someone else has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt. She has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here?
Monokuma appears!
Don't be rude, I'm here to answer your question. What question?
Yep.
You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before, didn't I? During the first class trial?
Speaking of which...
Yeah,
So
they, they can have an accomplice, but the accomplice wouldn't get anything out of it, so it would be pretty pointless. Yep.
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
so then.
Are you saying nobody worked together this time either?
Hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. It would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure you don't forget, no matter how much you might assist in a murder.
Phew.
Only one blackened can graduate, an accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words...
Then we only need to figure out who that one blackened is that did the killing, right? Just like normal.
Well,
Okay, let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. In this class trial, what you need to determine is the one true blackened who devised the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened? So just one person.
well now.
That's enough for explainifying. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Good luck to all of the contestants. So there can only be one blackened, an accomplice wouldn't benefit. Can't see any way that Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true then, Kyoko, where are you?
However,
As long as she's not connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's get back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt the hero is responsible. But for the time being, I suppose it can't hurt to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone a suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. There she is. What? I'm offended. You. When did you? I've been looking all over you, master. When I woke up, you were nowhere to be found. Anyway, you there, milk sack. She is obsessed with her tits, man. God damn.
Huh?
Milk sack?
You gotta be kidding!
What do I gotta be a suspect?
What the heck?
Well, I mean, you are a serial killer.
What?
So what? I'm like a special guest suspect. I'm like a special guest suspect every time. I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was still lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body.
Yep.
True. Besides, I'll calculate every move I make. I'm not going to kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They don't kill me, the murderous fiend, for nothing.
What are you saying?
That's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post a guard by the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then.
Hina and I can handle that. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on an investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that. Let's begin. This whole thing is so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out who did it should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. No shit. What I like about this case is that if you picked up on the subtle clue earlier on, you should already know who the culprit is at this point. That was the case with Mondo as well. If you'd really like caught on that he referred to Chihiro as dude, like right at the beginning of the case, that would have tipped you off on him being the murderer. Well, like I've said, no spoilers, please. No, I don't want spoilers. I don't want hints. I don't want any information. I don't want you guys saying anything in the chat that hints at any possible thing that would tell me any information about the case and who the killer is. Anything. Okay, nothing. I want to figure it out all on my own. So don't fucking post little hints or anything like that. Just to reiterate, no spoilers, no backseating, and that means even hinting at stuff. Oh god, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. What is it? After Hifumi and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together, and we came right to the repository to, you know, look around. And when we got here, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked? And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. If that's true, then who locked it and why was it unlocked now? I wonder the same thing. It was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. Maybe some secret lurking in here. I'll probably have to leave this area to figure it out. Well, I mean, it definitely was open before, because I came in here and noticed that the hammers were gone earlier. So, Mallets, could the Justice Hammers have been designed using these as a model? I mean, there's clearly mallets missing, so... Wait, for some reason this one hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash it recently? They were planning on using it, maybe? Interesting. Taka, he'll never move again. According to the Monokuma file, Taka died from a blow to the head. Found Justice Hammer 4 near his body in the equipment room, so that was what was used to kill him. And there's a tarp lead out under his body. Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? That way there wouldn't be any blood left behind where the body was moved. Yep, that makes sense. Although didn't do that with Hifumi's body, strangely enough. There are many aspects to this incident this time, too many to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that's happened.
So then.
Would you like my help? Sure. This morning, only 4 of us met up at the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you and myself. Waited for the others, but nobody showed up, so we decided to go look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search, and soon after we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, and then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and lay unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered her attacker was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It also became clear that this Robo Justice had dragged Hifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costume assailant. We found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. Took him down to the nurse's office on the 1st floor and then resumed our search, but not long after, leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we went back up to the 2nd floor where we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she had apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her screams, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared. And then... What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to get back. At that point, we decided to split up in 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect to the 3rd floor. And when we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse. Also, when we had the body discovery announcement, left Celeste and Hina alone and head back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what had happened.
However...
Oh, hey Starlight Knight. You'll be home in a few? Nice. See ya in a little bit then, in the chat. At the same time, we had discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time, because I remember hearing the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. That's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi had been killed. Then you, me and Byakuya all headed back to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. As soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who had just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body had disappeared. Hurried back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse was in fact gone. And then we remember we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. This can't be happening. Are we all hallucinating? Yep. And then Taka's body disappeared, so from there we began searching for the bodies. And after some time, Celeste told us she'd found the bodies and we all headed to the repository. And there we rediscovered 2 bodies that had apparently vanished. That brings us up to now. Looking back, things have certainly been very active. If you want to look back on the case again, just let me know. Celeste was very involved in a lot of what was going on in terms of knowing what the things were happening and being around things that were happening and telling us that she saw things without anybody else there. I'm a little sus of her right now, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there was a lot of things she did and said that we really didn't see any proof of, we just kind of believed what she was saying. Well, we'll see. It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. I saw this in the art room before. I guess it's used to move statues around. Or bodies. But wait. Oh, that's right. This was in the equipment room. And look at the wheels. Oh, there's bloodstains on it. Blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. So somebody used, they used the dolly to remove the body, which means it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody who could have been strong enough to lift their bodies. Hifumi's big cold body is laying on the ground. His really big body. I mean, how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? From the nurse's office where he was discovered. Yeah, up the stairs? Like, how? Even with a dolly, how the fuck would they do that? How the hell? It's no good, I just don't get it. I can't think about it later. I can think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, his fatal injury was also a blow to the head, probably from the Just Hammer 3, which was laying on the floor in the nurse's office. Huh, wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's it, his glasses. When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? Who would do that and why? Huh. Okay, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died... Yeah, he said Hiro's name.
In other words...
Then there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity with that weird costume? Maybe he thought no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb, but do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere.
What?
And is that it? That's all that bothers you about the case? Well, no, there are a few other things. Like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? They probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that's the case, we found the bodies pretty easily, didn't we? Again, it comes back to the fact that the culprit was a moron. Is that really all there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why'd they bother killing 2 people? What? Because all the rules says is if you can kill someone and get away with it, you graduate. If you're the killer, your number 1 priority is not getting caught. But killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out.
I see.
Hold on. Perhaps... I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. Huh? What's with that attitude? You have my appreciation. Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He talked as if he'd figured something out, but if he did, would it have killed him to tell me what it was? Eh, he's a dick. Am I done in here, or is the game going to be like... Definitely a lock on the door, but it can only be locked from the inside. I don't see any way to lock it from the outside. Door can only be locked from the inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Hina and Sakura confirmed that the door was locked after we started looking for the missing bodies, and the door is designed so that it can only be locked from the inside. In other words, when Hina checked it, someone had already gone in and locked the door. When they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. But Hina claims that there was no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone... had to already be in here. There's gotta be... Or there's another way in. First the nurse's office where Hifumi was found, and then the equipment room where Taka was found. Is there like... Is there like a vent or something in here, hidden behind something? I wonder. Okay, well there's nothing else in here to look at right now, so... Who do I think did it? Well, Hiro is the obvious suspect right now. I'm a little bit sus of Celeste, and I'm also actually... There's a part of me that's thinking Hifumi's still actually alive? Because... Why is his glasses clean? But then I'm like, why would he fake his death? Why would he help someone else? Unless this is his... But also, Monokuma would like basically said he was dead with the report, and I don't think Monokuma would lie for him. So I don't know. Okay, we'll go to the equipment room first since we're on the floor where the equipment room is. Also, where the fuck is Kyoko? Oh, she's chilling in here. Cool. Just as time before, the weapon that we used to kill Taka, the body was moved, but the murder weapon was just left here. Some kind of tire mark through the pool of blood in the middle of the room. That reminds me about the dolly in the repository. Yep. Could that be the blood that came? Yep. Here. Which could mean that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using a dolly. Both rooms are on the 3rd floor, so that should definitely have been possible. Yep. Even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the 1st floor. Even with a dolly, there's no way to get it up to the 3rd floor. That's still a total mystery. Huh. This tarp. I feel like I've seen it somewhere before. Yes, it's the same one in the... okay. Game. I mean, it's the same one that's used in the thingy, so whatever. I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed I missed such an ultimately rare event. Okay. Wasn't really much in there. That was helpful. What are you investigating, Celeste? I am not investigating anything, precisely speaking. I am simply going around seeing if Hiro might be hiding somewhere. What about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The thing in my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body.
Let's see.
How Hifumi was moved, huh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Indeed.
Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom. And when you got back, the body was gone? We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... I can't think of it as anything less than impossible. Justice number 3, the one that was used to kill Hifumi. Someone moved the body but left the weapon behind. Oops. The trash. Ooh. What's that? Too small to be a handkerchief, it's a glasses cleaning cloth with blood on it. That's how the glasses were cleaned. But why would they do that? It's got some kind of cartoon character on it. But it's also covered in blood. It looks like it belongs to Hifumi. Why would he, I mean, I guess... No, because... Did you find something? Yeah, there was a cleaning cloth in the trash can. A cleaning cloth? And it's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe up some blood. But who would have been... Who would need to do something like that? I haven't the slightest idea. Yeah, I mean, I ain't neither, but I think it might be important. I'm starting to think Hifumi's not actually dead. But I don't know how that would be the case. Considering... Bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusions, I guess. As in fake blood they could use to fake a death? So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not what you meant to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hero's room. Oh, and let me give you this. This is the note Hero wrote to get us all to meet up, right? You remember well. The penmanship was pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
All clear now.
Anyway, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things grow even more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanation.
Goodbye.
Okay, we'll go to Hero's room. How would someone be able to move the thick mole body that quickly? That quick? The only person I could think of that would be able to do that is the buff Yandere girl, but she wasn't even there, so who the fuck is responsible? My thought is, someone made some kind of weird deal with Hifumi about the laptop to get him to coerce him into faking his death because he was in love with a laptop like a weirdo, and he's faked his death to try and help them get away with a murder. That is my thought right now. But who he worked with is the question. Seems like it would be Hiro, but could also be Celeste because I'm very sus of her. To be honest, so I don't know. It seems like it's very potentially there is an actual accomplice in this case, even though they wouldn't get anything out of it. Hifumi seems like the type that would be able to get manipulated. There he is. The door is unlocked? I guess I can go inside. Byaka did say to go look, it might not be a great idea, but I'm going to take the plunge. Celeste is the goth girl, yes. Ooh, look at him. He's got all kind of weird shit in here. This is Hero's room, there's all kinds of weird stuff. Where do you even get it all from? More importantly, he still hasn't turned up, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to set his room, right? Why does he have? Why does he? Where did he get all this shit from? What the fuck? Something in the cardboard boxes. Blueprints for something? Something's made out of, it looks like cardboard, plastic and plaster. It's the fucking costume. Is this Robo Justice? Ow! I just punched my desk. And it's in Hero's room. I mean, someone could have easily planted it here since he's not around, but that's suspicious. But wait, these blueprints, something about them bothers me. I wonder if nobody's actually was in that costume and it was just made to stand in a certain way. Because it was Hifumi that was getting dragged away by it. But he could, if he's helping fake this something, he could very easily make it look like it was dragging him away when there was nobody actually in it. No, but pretty much just like the one in my room. Nothing in there, it's pretty grungy though. How does a bathroom even get this dirty? Is that everything? Seems to be everything I can check in here. Okay. Interesting. Oh, Makoto, big news, big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news. Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? But the costume's in there. What? Or I guess parts of it is Hiro wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. I ran off to the second floor as fast as I could. What the fuck is going on? Alright. Kyoko and...
I mean...
Phew, man, have I had the worst day. Hiro? I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looks like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up.
Don't be mean.
I still can't believe you kicked me. You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something.
What?
That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace.
Wow.
There was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. What do you mean, never mind? I can't never mind.
It's nothing.
Never mind.
Hey,
More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know people think she might be spying for the mastermind?
and?
First of all, Hiro, you need to explain as to why you're dressed like that.
I mean,
Oh, well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, don't even know what happened, and then I woke up and then I was here. I don't care, do something about that costume, it pains me just to look at you. Oh, well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself?
got it all wrong.
I didn't make this stupid freaking thing.
It would seem.
There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy, I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice, let's help him. Took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. Took a few minutes, but eventually we got all the pieces off. Ugh, free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fits Hiro?
So then.
More to the point, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
Honestly.
Don't bother trying to act innocent, the blueprints were in your room as well.
Is that okay?
In other words, it is obvious to everyone that you made this costume. How did she know the blueprints were in his room? That's true, I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be?
Then it's obvious the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him?
Just the worst.
What, so that he can't explain himself? Good idea, we wouldn't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on guys, I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He may be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
What the heck?
You can't talk your way out of this. It's been decided, you killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be a fake hero running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who can wear this costume. So, who else could possibly be the costumed attacker? How do you know I'm the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you convict me.
Okay.
Fine, if you're going to be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit, Hina started putting on the robo costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
Because he didn't.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Hmm?
I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
And a huff, Hina took the suit back off again.
Ah.
Well, now you're all out of excuses. No, see, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Oh, okay. Against my will, I picked up the pieces of the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good, the arms are too long, there's no way I can wear
Just
this.
a second.
See, I told you it was impossible. You're absolutely right. It seems this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly.
But
Then, there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but it fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence.
what the heck?
Evidence? You claim there's another suit, yes? Then you must find it and show it to us. What the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hero's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
That's terrible.
Which is how we know it was him.
What?
I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been happening. Could someone, like, tell me? So, right now I'm thinking somebody, potentially Celeste, is working with Hifumi as an accomplice for this, because it seems like it's not Hiro. I mean, I think someone made the costume, put the blueprints and stuff in Hiro's room to put him in the costume and was somehow controlling him. I don't think that's the case. I think they put the costume on him and then knocked him, well, they knocked him out or made him unconscious or something, drugged him, I don't know, put the costume on him, had him in this room, so that nobody could, so it seemed like he was missing. And then there was another costume that they made that was able to stand on its own, and Celeste with the camera was able to fake a picture with Hifumi because they were working together. And then while Hifumi... oh fuck, I don't know actually. While... when Hifumi and that were downstairs with... or when Celeste was downstairs with Hifumi and that in the nurse's office, she went to take Thingy to the bathroom, and when she was gone to the bathroom, Hifumi got up, cleaned his glasses, and then he went upstairs, and because we all thought his body was missing, we all ran downstairs, and then while we were all downstairs investigating his body missing, he went upstairs and took Taka's body with the dolly and went and hid it and his own body in the repository where he locked the door, which is why it was locked, because he locked it and then faked being dead. That is my theory right now. And I'm pretty sure it's Celeste that was working with him. And the only, and you might say, well, why would he work together? He doesn't get anything out of it. He'll die like the rest of us if Celeste gets away with it. But I'm assuming she basically, maybe she threatened to destroy, she's the one that stole the laptop that he's in love with the AI on it, and she threatened to destroy it unless he helped her, which is the only way I can think she would be able to get someone to be an accomplice, because he seems like someone who's very could be manipulated easily. That is my current theory right now that I'm going with. We'll see how accurate I am though. She looks like she's lost in thought. Also, what the fuck is with Kyoko? I don't even know what the hell is going on with her, but she's sus as fuck as well, for just refusing to tell us where the hell she's been this whole time. I don't think she's in the mood to talk. I'd better leave her alone. Okay.
Oh.
I certainly did not expect Hiro and Kyoko to turn up at the same time. But where has Kyoko been hiding all this time? I have no idea.
Then
Perhaps she really is working for the mastermind. What else would explain her questionable behaviour? But you're quite protective of her, yes? That's because she's helped me out so much up until now. If I were the mastermind, that is exactly what I would do to earn your trust. It's looking more and more like it really was a setup. There's no talking your way out of this one. You did it. Everyone knows it.
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I think I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Himikura, who was it? Well, 2 people were killed. Taka and Hifumi. What? 2 people?
just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those 2 are the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it. I know who did it.
So then.
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over Alter Ego, right?
I'm at least 30%
Which means
right.
Alter Ego and Chihiro must have done it.
Correct.
Okay. How? I see, that's unfortunate. Huh? Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us, just admit that you did it, okay? I'm telling you guys, you got it all wrong. Oh, I know, that note! No. Last night, someone slipped a weird note under my door, and here's what it said. I found a hole. Maybe we can use it to escape. Oh. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. But the last thing I remember is going to the rec room, and then, for some reason, I fell asleep.
Hey.
The real car probably undrugged me or something. The rec room where we found Celeste, and where the picture was taken of the person in the costume apparently taking Hifumi away?
Just the worst.
Not a chance.
So.
No, hold on. He could be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. What? Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage? A secret passage? A chance to escape? Someone wrote all that to trick me?
Ah.
Even if that's true, you must be one dumb fish to bite every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still got to check, right? Yeah. They preyed on my desire to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay, then how? Show us the note. With pleasure, I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. Please, you gotta believe me, I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must provide evidence. Can you show us the note? I have no particular issue with what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck, for serious? So she slipped a note to him to get him to go to the rec room so that she could knock him out, put the costume on him, and then her and Hifumi could fake that picture. And then Hifumi took him to the library. Oh no, Hifumi took him, and then they took him here, and then, yeah. Celeste, I feel like, is definitely the one behind this, and she's manipulated Hifumi to fake his own death and help her with this. And they're trying to pin it on Hiro. Now then. Shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do we need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Why? Why did you kill him? Tell us, Hiro. No, it's like I said. Was it really to get the money Monokuma offered us? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broken, that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me. Just be thankful we haven't found and bound and gagged you. If you have time to yell and carry on, you have time to search for your evidence, right? You're right. I need to look for the second suit in that note. Feet don't fail me now. I guess I'd better get back to guard duty. I was going to ask Toko or Genesig Jack to switch with me, but if she and Sakara got into a fight, we'd have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. One by one, everyone peeled away. Makoto, do you have a second? Huh? I want you to help me with the investigation. It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but can you promise me something? Later, when we have the time, will you tell me why you disappeared? No. To reject me so simply. Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Fine, but goddamn bitch. Thanks, now then, shall we?
Hey.
So, Makoto, first I'd like to examine the corpses.
Correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know, they tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey.
Wouldn't you agree? How am I supposed to answer? Anyway, we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then, show me where the bodies are. They're in the repository. Guess we should head that way. Oh, you're gonna make me walk there. Okay. Hey, Crumble, how's it going? Welcome. Here's my new favourite character. Sorry, Eldian. It's gonna give him a nickname. I know, I'm gonna call him Brown Hair Brody. Good name. Sure. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to be rigid, but only for a moment.
So then.
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began poking and prodding his bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right, they were killed using similar weapons. Her movements were so smooth, she was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was actually made me feel a little more comfortable.
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey.
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? He did? Did he? Are you so oblivious to other people around you? Do you dislike people that much? Wow! I see you're playing my favourite game. How are you enjoying it? Oh, really? Your favourite game? I am enjoying it pretty thoroughly. I gotta say. Still investigating. Yep. No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
So then.
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? It most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. So that would mean the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
That's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey you, how long were you going to keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice. Yeah. Almost 10 o'clock, you know that by the time.
In other words,
So, if it worked at 10 last night, it couldn't have been broken at 6 PM. Meaning it must have been happening at 6 in the morning.
however,
That's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in his hand in there.
Makoto,
Can you try and pull it out? Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited to this kind of manual labour, right? Oh god. As much as I didn't want to grasp Taka's cold hand, that ice cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was finally able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper. Was that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, does it?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Perhaps he left us a few clues of his own. The Danganronpa games are my favourite games, almost all of them. Rival FF7 and Resident Evil 4. Are you doing the entire series or just this one? I mean, for now it'll just be this one, but I definitely will probably come back to another game in the future. I'm not gonna like play this and immediately jump into another Danganronpa game. I'll definitely feel like I would like to play another one of these in the future for sure. Hey Noah, how's it going? Oh, still the same thing. Guess we just talked to her again. So, did you find anything? I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
that's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
He had it stuffed in his pants, so I can only assume he's hidden it on purpose. In his pants? Wait, so you...
Why is that?
It was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Hey,
Anyway, let's take a look at the paper. Go ahead, open it up. When I think of how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like... It's better be important if me or I'll never forgive you for this. A note. It's the note! I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM.
so
Sounds very familiar. That's it. It's the same thing that Hiro said. You have a Monokuma tattoo? Hell yeah. That's awesome. He's a very cute design, even though he's also like a psychotic killer person. You know? He was telling the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? Last night someone slipped a weird note under my door. Found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else. For now, let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM. Ah. The time is different. Hiro told us that in his note said to meet at 1 AM. But the note they wrote to Hifumi said to 6 AM. Okay, so it's not the same note. But they both got one.
is that right?
Just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it wasn't meant for him. Wait, just because Hifumi had the note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So
Part of it has been torn off, right? Yep. As in... So that was given to Taka. And Hifumi took it from him for some reason. There's some meaning to the part being ripped. Could you maybe explain a little more? Think carefully.
hey,
Why would he have been clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper when he was holding it? What if it was something more important? And how would something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's okay, yeah. It's obvious. Come on. Cute but
Hey.
deadly. What would I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had the e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're saying I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
If you don't have to think about them at all, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All I said was that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. There may come a point, however, where a handbook may play a role. Okay. Fucking game developers clearly telling me that, not the actual character. It's Monokuma with a gun crosshair, and one side says hope and the other says despair. That's pretty cool. That's a sick tattoo. I've been saying for years how I want to get another tattoo, but I just haven't done it. I've got one tattoo that I got when I was like 17, and it's a wolf head. It's a wolf's like head on my back, and that's it. I've no other tattoos, and I've always said I want to get more, but I just never have. It's just expensive, man. Gonna go for a bit. All right, Zell, just see you a bit later then, maybe. Shit, is that it? That's all the investigation we get? All right.
Are you excited? Are you
Oh, maybe not.
pumped?
Oh,
It's
no.
time. Like the bright burst of fireworks and sonar. With everyone, please make your way to the...
Yeah. You get one roughly every 2 years. I think if I had more expendable income, I would definitely get more tattoos.
Shall we go?
Let's see how right my theory was then. I think the theory I had earlier is pretty close to being correct, but it's just a matter of actually getting that to come out in the trial. Everyone heard Monokuma's proclaims and they gathered here by the door. Ah, that's a good birthday present to get yourself, for sure. So, okay, so for the new people who have jumped in at this point, this is my current theory for what's happening in this case. My current theory is Celeste gave the notes to Taka, Hiro, and Hifumi to meet her at different times. And she's the one that stole the laptop. She took the laptop and went to the rec room and got all them to come and meet her at different times. First was Hiro, who she knocked unconscious with some kind of chemical from the nurse's office, and she put him in that costume. While asleep, Hifumi then showed up, who she threatened and basically told him, "You have to work with me to help me fake murders, or just help me do this stuff. Otherwise, I'm going to destroy the laptop because I'm the one that stole it." And Hifumi, being such a weirdo and being in love with the laptop, was like, okay, and just basically got manipulated into helping her. At which point, she was able to fake the picture of the robot, like looking like it was taking Hifumi away. Then she got Taka to come meet her, where her and Hifumi attacked and murdered him and put his body in the equipment room or something. Then, when people started looking around, Celeste made it look like she was attacked. She screamed. Then we found her in the rec room. She was all told us that bullshit story about how the costume guy attacked her and all that stuff. Because then also, she was also the only one that ever saw him after that, when we were trying to chase him around. She kept saying, "Oh, I seen him there, oh, I seen him there," but we never saw him. Then, she got Hifumi to fake being injured in the library because he was still alive. And I mean, if you're going to kill someone, why would you not make sure he was dead? So he was faking himself being injured. They took him down to the nurse's office where Hifumi and Hina were protecting him. Tina and Celeste went to the bathroom. While they were at the bathroom, Hifumi then, when they went up and went and searched for Thingy's body, Hifumi faked being attacked and murdered. Then they looked after his body. They went to the bathroom, Celeste took Hira to the bathroom. At which point, Hifumi got up, cleaned his glasses so that he could see what he was doing. Then left the nurse's office, at which point they came back and were like, "Oh, the body's gone," so that we would all come downstairs. And while we were all downstairs being like, "Where the fuck's his body?" he was upstairs and took Taka's body to the repository room, where He put his body and his own body and locked the door from the inside and waited for us to find that Taka's body was missing, and then once he knew that we were all searching for them, then he unlocked the door where we could come in and find the bodies. And that's what's happening. Although I don't know why, if he's faking this, I don't know why Celeste, I don't know why Monokuma would go along with it, because surely Monokuma would know he wasn't actually dead. Or, I don't know. But that's my theory now. It's got some holes in it, but that's as close as I'm getting to a theory. We'll see what happens. We'll see how close I am with that. Hello? Why is there two? Hello, hello, hello. He's multiplied. Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get to the elevator already? You're not playing along. Is this a reference to Stardew Valley? Not Stardew Valley. Fucking Animal Crossing. Although I don't know. Timmy and Tommy, did they exist in Animal Crossing back then? And before 2010 when this game came out? When we did that whole talking 2 times thing? Or is that just like a Japanese thing where twins do that? I don't know. We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine. If everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train or elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please.
What the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins. I told you already. I didn't do it for serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume or the note? Well, no. But how unfortunate. Then it would seem we have our culprit. Yeah, you would fucking love that, Celeste.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's get down there first, and then the story can really begin. Hey, Wyatt. What up, dude? How you doing? Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. Can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taki get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the 2 that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed 2 of our friends. The killer is Celeste, I think. Let's go! I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. Sorry, my roommate's cat wants out. Hold on a second. God damn it. Gotta love when cats do that classic thing where they're like, meow meow, let me out, and then you open the door and then they just stand there and look and don't actually leave. It's like, did you fucking want out? God damn it. Hope you have a good stream, sir. I must head to bed. Hope I'll make the next one so that I can get an update on your reactions to the trial. Much love. Oh yeah, you're in Australia, aren't you? So it's probably like crazy time for you right now. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. All the if you want to watch any of the VODs and stuff, they're all up on my YouTube and stuff. So if you can go on there and check any of my reactions to anything else in the game, if you want to check that stuff out too. All these will be going up on my YouTube. The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. Bing. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up into a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realise just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? Wah? Do you really hate me so much? I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, of course I'm going to start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold on to you like that. Okay, let's begin. Okay. And so the curtains opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal, a deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith, a deadly class trial. Let's go. Oh yeah, I have new skills. Steady your aim a little. Steadying your aim. Effective during the non-stop debate and the Hangman's Gambit. Focus gauge recovers more quickly, effective during the non-stop debate, the Hangman's Gambit and the bullet time battle. Nice. Let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive pin. I'll punish everyone beside. Now then.
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
Pot kettle black.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Of course he's not. Before anything else, we have to make that clear.
Everything we found in your room.
Wait.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Because there was only like one thing to hit there and it was her.
In your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why?
No, just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I'm actually not
I don't know anything about
sure
that
what I'm
stuff.
actually supposed to be hitting here
It's
first.
not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why?
No, just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room.
Nope.
Shoot!
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
It's not true. It's
Room blueprints.
just hold on a
How?
second.
Everything we found in your the blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
Shoot!
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be hitting here. I'm not gonna lie.
Your room.
Oops. I mean, it's definitely not that. Wait, is she saying the...
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know it. It's not true. It's
Hero, why?
no. Just hold on a second.
Wait, hold on.
Everything we found in your room.
Fuck.
Shoot.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough.
What am I supposed to be hitting here?
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are.
Oh wait, am I supposed to use the flashback thing? I forgot about that. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. Hold on.
I don't know it. It's not true.
I completely forgot about that. That was a thing
Hold on a second.
until the now there. Maybe I'm supposed to use that on her message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof
Nope.
enough.
I'm actually so confused at what I'm supposed to be doing here. Hold on, let me just think. I'm gonna die right at the start of the fucking trial, even though I kind of know what, like, happened with it. Alright, cool. Let's try that again. Yeah, okay, let's just... Whoops. Yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
Yeah, you guys are probably fucking sitting there going apeshit at the fact that I'm just like being so dumb right now and not knowing what I'm supposed to be using. Let me look over the things again that I have in the truth. Yasuhiro's message. This is the note that Yasuhiro wrote to get everyone to meet in the dining hall. Meet in the dining hall is all it says. The handwriting is remarkably neat and clean. Everything we found in your room.
Blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Okay, that was...
It's not true. It's
Hero, why?
no. Just hold on a second.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts.
Okay, I don't know how that... How does that... That was a guess. How does that thingy it? What is...
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Because the handwriting's different. Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, that's what it was. I didn't even pick up on that when I found that originally. Fuck me, dude. Alright, sorry about that. I'm being so dumb. Wow, that's probably I think that's the one time I've been so lost on what the hell I'm supposed to do in the trial.
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote.
He has
Asking
remarkably
everyone to
good
meet up
handwriting.
after Your alter ego disappeared.
God damn, dude.
The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same.
Natural
person
born
would vote
detective right here, boys.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
I mean...
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And
Yep.
he's not the only one. I think Hero is innocent as well.
Then who was in that Robo Justice suit? Is
Oh.
it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
Nope.
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
So, who was in the Robo Justice suit?
I mean, the Illuminati. I mean, no, Hero was in the suit.
I got
He just didn't do
Other
anything.
than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption.
And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
Sure.
I got it! I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What is with
So,
that attitude?
Let's see if I can explain.
He's such a
Taka's
bitch.
body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
Huh?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Wow, fuck you.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Bitch! Alright, you know what? I'm glad I'm gonna out you now, you fucking son of a bitch. What is her... I mean, she's clearly being very mean because she knows I'm trying to fucking get her. Another new element? Okay, cool. Why not? Reloading. Starting with the next bullet time battle, we're gonna add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements, but from now on, just locking on and pressing the Y button won't be enough to handle them. It will now cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the X button. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the X button at a time with the tempo marker. Okay. Okay. The Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. She's got some cheek.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Do your worst.
Goddamn bitch.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
That was annoying. But we got her.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved,
It had blood on the wheels.
when I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Bitch. Ah, that's right. Does Celeste really hate me that much? No, she's just, you know, the killer. So.
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Cause what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
Because they couldn't bend over. The waist thing, which thing he said.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room. And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Oh. Whoops. My bad.
As we know, Taka was killed in the and from there.
Yeah, the culprit then loaded it on.
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a...
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Ba-da-da-da.
No,
There we go.
you're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Totally can't bend out of the way. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Can't take it off by yourself.
I got it! I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it.
Why would he make it up?
He could have gotten it off by himself. I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice. That's what I decided to call him.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to read. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it. Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina,
We really have to go through this again.
and we waited there for quite a while. But no, that was around 8.
And as soon as we split up,
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked. I know it was an hour, because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko. He was injured, so we took him to the nurses, but not long after leaving.
I'm just gonna like think through this because we already like heard all of this like not long ago.
We decided soon after.
I saw some.
Because goddamn, we like know what happened. Christ, really don't need the whole thing explained again. Okay.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
we already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of
Oh, the
memory
wristwatch.
of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was
Oh, I
killed
gotta
while
wristwatch her
See?
statement.
So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was, we already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that
Shut-
Hifumi was killed while
Okay.
Taka's death.
See? So it's obvious Taka came. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was, we already know what order they were killed in.
No?
Shoot. So, I wonder if or perhaps
Maybe not that statement.
know what order the Taka came
Oops.
last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
What?
Shoot.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if you got...
Hold on.
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
I guess a hero's message? Is that the... No, that's that. Meet at the dining hall. Yeah, it's gotta be this that I'm supposed to use as watch.
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
It's true that Hifumi was killed, but while Taka's death came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's... I wonder if he died, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3.
Oh, I think I'm supposed to use the thing here, actually.
So it's obvious...
The, what do you call it? The, Hold on.
So, regarding...
I wonder if... Or perhaps it was... We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so the wristwatch thing doesn't really... Yeah. Okay.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
Yes.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi?
Yes.
Okay then, let's see the proof.
The motherfucking wristwatch. Oh, the hangman thing. Fuck. Get him.
Now I understand. I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Yep, it was fine last night. Because he was like all about the time and stuff.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night...
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those Justice Hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window.
True.
Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe. When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
What?
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway,
Come on, Hiro.
we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
Could not have been gone for more than a minute or two. Yep.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible
Because he
possible?
wasn't really dead.
What? How? If the dead body were to move itself.
Yep. Yep.
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Yep. It is possible.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Wait. I think this is another absorbed time bullet thing.
Hifumi in the nurse's
nurse's office. There's a chance you...
No. It is Hifumi was dead, and you know that. How? Surely you heard the body discovery. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Oh, not that.
Shoot!
Are you saying that
Oh wait,
when you
maybe I'm
first
supposed to
found
do it the other way
Hifumi in
around
the
actually.
nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. How? Surely you heard the body discovery, and Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why.
Are we really so maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Yeah. I used that on her thing.
Are you
Yes.
saying that when you first-
There's a
On
chance-
Celeste's.
no. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. How? Surely you heard the body discovery. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There we go. Yeah.
What's wrong? Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere.
That's the word. So my whole, because I didn't remember how the announcements came, and so my theory, the whole of my theory was I was thinking like, why the hell would Monokuma lie about a body discovery thing? But I forgot they happened at the same time, so he wasn't necessarily announcing Hifumi's body being found.
I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
Oh yeah. Because so did Hifumi really? Did he kill himself
We rediscovered the two
after he
bodies.
moved the body? And now he is dead? Would he go that far to protect the laptop? Because that's the only reason I can think that he would help Celeste out. Or I don't know. Or maybe he just collapsed and died. I don't know.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether
His
he was really alive or
glasses
not.
were cleaned randomly. That's the thing. Yep, his glasses were cleaned. And who would have cleaned them except himself? Yup.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office.
Yes.
And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Oh yes, there was.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Boom, baby.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
Oh, Byaki, are you sure you're not a super anime fanboy in disguise?
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... what exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Well, it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere! But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done! God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
It was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
Yep.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
Oh, did she find the laptop?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Oh, she's talking about that.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
Find a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 AM.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 AM.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been...
Taka?
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear...
TikTok and Huffy.
TikTok is Taka,
Okay.
and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Ugh! Yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Oh my god, there's a lot of bullets.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 AM, I believe.
Oh,
The time doesn't matter!
and that's the time his wristwatch was broken.
With TikTok!
Yep,
No, that's wrong!
6 AM was on his wristwatch.
No! There absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 AM, which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Scrap of paper!
When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
Well, I mean, actually, Kyoko was the one that saw that, but
Right
sure.
about this. The sheet of paper this piece came from, I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap.
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
No.
Sorry, no.
He's definitely
When we
dead now.
found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you
Walrus?
calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it.
There what? Yeah, there was a hammer that was cleaned.
But wouldn't that
Ah.
be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
It was the cleaned hammer that was still in the room. The spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Shut up.
One thing seems pretty
God
clear.
damn.
The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
No!
No, it's wrong. The murder weapon wasn't a justice hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. And for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, Of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but...
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right?
True.
In this case, however, there were two murders.
Oh, I think this is another case
Based on
of...
the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder. In this case, however, there were two.
You motherfucker.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that is.
But that only really in this case, however, there were two murders.
Oh. Oh, the other way?
Based on the rules that have, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried, assuming the rule holds true.
That is.
I keep doing them in the wrong order.
In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been, even if more than one, only the one who actually carried out the, assuming the rule holds true.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Hey Zeldris, welcome back.
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme.
Oh, that would make more sense of why Hifumi would help. Maybe she told him that the plan was for both of them to kill one person each. But would that go against his rule of only one blackened? I mean, if they both kill somebody at around the same time.
There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka.
Ah.
They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
And of course Hifumi would have no problem killing Taka because he fucking hated him.
By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
Yep. Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that she's the one that's... Well, I mean... on the one hand, it seems obvious that it seems like she's the one that's maybe, like, working with Monokuma, but at the same time, maybe the game's trying to make that too obvious, so it's not going to be that. We'll see. Almost not unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
True color, baby. If we could carry out the word. It debates up till now the way the case has unfolded. When you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. Motherfucking Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I? I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
Ooh.
Pardonnez-moi.
True Celeste coming out there, I feel like.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Oh, the screaming?
Shoot!
No. She was the only one, yeah, she was the only one that ever encountered the suspicious individual. Nobody else seemed to ever see him,
Behavior
only
they had
her.
in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
What the fuck?
Sorry.
As he said,
Wow,
only
okay.
Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
Saw a shadow, something moving around the top of the stairs. Mm-hmm.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor.
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
And when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. Saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Yep.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up. Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Oh.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead, Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait, then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
Oh, okay. What is going to be her?
I have no idea what you mean.
No retort, really? Hifumi is not alive. Hifumi was working with her and pretended to be dead, but then after he moved the bodies, she killed him so that she wouldn't have any accomplices. So he is dead.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
Oh?
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the 4 of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
She said those guys.
All I said was, they must really be enjoying this.
Wait, what's her account so I know if I'm using... Oh no, that's not it. This must be another thingy.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious what was so strange about Celeste's comment.
Damn it, I didn't have time to get that.
All I said was, They must really be enjoying the sight of us. They must be. We are going to die. And that is all.
And that's all it takes to think. What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
The fact that she said those guys when she only knew about one person being dead, or should have only known about one person being dead.
Enjoying the sight of us. They must be positively. We are all going to die. We are going to die. Just like.
Boom.
No, that's wrong. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
Mm-hmm.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, the other possibility is Hifumi and the suspect have been drinking, Hifumi and the suspect are dancing, or Hifumi is dragging the suspect away. Yes, that one.
I got it!
Because he was fucking unconscious in the suit.
Not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to
Wow.
educate you.
Wow. Thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away, but is that really possible? I guess we'll see. Jesus. Okay. It's a lot of different bullets.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight like that.
Ah, the costume though doesn't let you bend over.
Idiot is the culprit after all.
No way!
Costume doesn't allow you to bend over like that though. It would make you stand up straight.
You dressed me up in that suit after then you just draped me. You tried to make me look
Like I said,
As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up.
Boom!
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
Yep.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Oh, she's losing it.
Make me laugh, you idiot. What do you mean, checkmate?
Oh, is this her for real now?
Celeste?
No longer putting up the facade.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying? When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagakure!
Right, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
The
What?
confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Wait, what's her real name?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
Did he say people's last names? I actually don't even remember. Alright.
That's right. Our last name.
Hey, Fox Tina.
He called us all by our last
Welcome to the
names.
stream.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once.
Oh,
for example.
true.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random chance.
Don't talk.
Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on.
We don't know Celeste's full
One
name.
person it could apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit! Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather! Yasuhiro is a loser's name! Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
She is losing it.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to do something to make her accept it. Well, if that is your real name, prove it. Show us your handbook. How about that? Yep. Yep, show the handbook will show her name.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
how many times do I have to tell you? My name is
What the fuck? Why is it upside down?
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to contradict me.
Oh, but I do.
That's it! The handbook!
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
Mm-hmm.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Well.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Comic book time? Comic book time. Okay. Alright. So, in this case, how did the killer recruit their accomplice? Was it seduction? What's... That? That's the only thing I can see that would fit there. What time do the killers call their victims to the rec room? 1. Yeah, they called him there and then they gagged him. Who was it that the killer summoned first? Yep. So then they gagged him, they put the costume on. They knocked him out and then stuffed him in the Robo-Justice suit to falsify their evidence, and they used a certain item to do it. Wait, what? The camera? Does that mean? Yep. Time I was supposed to meet them at 6. Wait. What time was Taka supposed to head to the equipment room? It was supposed to be there at 6, but there's no... There's no timer on here for 6. What? Oh, the wrist. Oh, it's a wristwatch. Okay, I was looking at like I thought this like at the top here was 12. I didn't realize it. Yeah, the wristwatch. It was at an angle. Okay, that was very confusing. Okay, so then they He killed him. The Justice Hammer that was used to kill Taka, what number was it? Oh, fuck me, what number was it? 3? No, 4. Because they wanted us to think he died last. Or that he died after thingy, so it was 4, yeah. I think. Yeah, 4. The library Hifumi used something to fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. The other hammer... 2? Yeah, because one was used on Celeste, and then 2 for him here in the library. And it was 3 in the nurse's office, and then 4 for Taka. Yeah. And we found their body, and then her body, and then Have we used something to move Taka's body? Okay, just making sure there was no other options for the dolly thing, so it was this. Yep. And then the weapon the killer used to murder him, Hifumi, was that one? Wait, no. No, that's that picture there. So this one. There.
That's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. Hifumi, with an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
So, I mean, my theory was mostly correct. The thing I got wrong was I thought that she was forcing him to help her be an accomplice in the murders while using the laptop as a threat. But in reality, what it was is they were going to work together to both kill someone at the same time, but then she just betrayed him. Because, I mean, that's the thing that didn't make sense. I was like, why would he go as far as to kill himself or let himself die in the scheme just to protect the laptop? That makes no sense. So this makes, yeah.
The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1, and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the
Amazing.
refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office. And once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
Celeste! Boom.
Celeste! Sorry, you lose.
Haha. Complete.
Lost? I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Hey.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
There we go. God damn. Well. Oof, what a bees. Still got an A though. Nothing but A's. Couple of B's. Oh, I did get to see the start for fucking up real bad. But managed to get enough A's to bring it back down to an A. Hell yeah.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no. I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote.
How is she gonna get
Okay.
executed, I wonder?
If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
I'll say this, for once at least one of these chapters didn't kill characters that I actually really like. That's a nice change. The first 5 people that died were all characters that I actually liked in some way. Black at this time, the true killer who deceived the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Lindbergh, or more precisely Taiko Yoshihiro. Or Yasuhiro.
Honestly,
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her speciality, lying. my speciality. Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree.
So then,
Then did you use, you know... I knew you'd figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. So it was the laptop. That's how she did get him to agree. I'm surprised she's not just out in the laptop as a way to be like, fuck all of you for killing me. But okay, respect for that. Taka was pretty much the only character who I especially liked and got killed in this chapter. Really? I mean, I didn't mind Taka. I didn't mind Taka too much. He was alright. I fucking hated Hifumi. And Celeste I was kind of meh about as well. Because she was just kind of a rude bitch. We didn't really know much about her. So... Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What are you talking about?
just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one who stole it.
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into your plan that you'd come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. What are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
what? Are you okay with
It was
this?
Taka. He stole it.
So
And I have
then,
proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken, you know what, to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
As for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh.
He did.
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
Wow. She's. He took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime, an absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. Damn, she really manipulated the fuck out of him. I kind of feel bad for Hifumi, but at the same time, you know, he's still murdered. And also, my god, was he a creepy little man. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill. Wow.
most unfortunate.
Wait, please, if you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape, and he has made you his target. Escape? You don't mean. Taka is going to try to kill you,
indeed.
and all he can keep, and also he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear!
I have to save her!
actually,
Then would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what was stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Hifumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love, even a love as twisted as that, can still drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
indeed.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So why'd you decide to make me the suspect? That's so blunt. Because you're stupid. That's it.
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry. But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you had actually let him live?
Are you okay with
That's
this?
simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead once someone showed up, I told him to say he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course, that wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. And at that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. All seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it up. He believed that lie wholeheartedly right up until the moment of his death.
So in the end...
So you had planned to kill him all along. But of course, there would have been no point in my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
What the heck?
How can human life mean so little to you?
Well,
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean.
Now you sound like Brakia.
I wonder
No,
about that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far?
what the heck?
Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life began here, my only thought has been escape. But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little
Obviously
bitch.
that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it, I hated it from day one. More than anyone else in here. I wanted to get out every day. I wanted to get out every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way that I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? That's it? Wow. And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers / bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I would have created a perfect aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about. Wow. Damn. She knows what she wants, huh? Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets. I pursued my dream till the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavour. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. She's a sociopath! Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realise you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even feel my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. That's why you're not scared?
Yes.
That's right.
indeed.
I don't fear death. Kill me however you like. But you don't know. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as a Marie Antoinette. What?
Hey.
You just get executed again. And when she did, it looked like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could feel her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie. And that weak fake smile is what betrayed her. Y'all done? Okay, then let's get rolling. The Black disturbed the peace and must pay the price. Now then,
Prepared a very special punishment. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this. What?
oh, she just hid it in another locker.
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Yeah. See ya. Oh my god, they're gonna fucking burn her at the stake. Jesus, that's brutal. And crush her with a truck. Alright. Sure. That was ridiculous, but... Damn, look how so little, so few people now. There's only 7 of us left. Jesus. Our execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. Not me. For him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world and so more people had to die.
Extreme!
You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez, and here I thought you guys were going to pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I get about hope? I'll throw it in the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key type object from Celeste?
Hey!
What's the deal with that?
What?
What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me? Oh.
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How
Oh man, oh jeez, oh man, oh jeez, what do you mean? What did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What? What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kinda awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well,
Meanwhile, you guys can go and enjoy your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
see ya later.
Huh. More mysteries. Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair, there was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko. Monokuma already mentioned it, but... what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's the key to one of the dressing room lockers.
Huh?
What? Then that means... Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easier to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to the dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go in alone from here. Everyone else, head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I mean. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well
Then it's up to you now.
Yo!
I'm going to go to the dining hall, okay? So Makoto and Kyoko are going to go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls are like her, are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. Okay. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw... Good morning! It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon, maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please wait just a little longer. So, now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but... Can we take a second, since we have this opportunity? I want to be honest with you. Or I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come here with me?
however,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried.
what?
Worried? Like what happened during the investigation last time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation? When you do that,
Indeed.
it's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too? No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People who believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. Finally! I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see... Oh? Oh, I fucking swear to God, this better actually tell me. What I heard from Kyoko then was... Frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she'd told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come. And when it did, I went into action. Okay.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And in the storage closet, there, way in the back. She said it was away in the back of the boys' bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? Is there like a tunnel or something? Something like as a way out? Just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoto told me about, could it really be hidden here? She said it was in the way in the back of the storage closet, but I mean seriously? Without thinking I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly as if I were being yanked in, there's a secret door! At the same time as I heard that sound I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. Jesus Christ. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back wall was like a revolving door and I'd made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet. And way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. So this is the secret room. But what's in here? Yo. Okay, so there's only two things to check here. A bunch of files and what looks like volume after volume of yearbook. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry? This is the only thing in here that's not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand, but before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave? That's kinda weird. I can understand if it said, Like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. A strange sensation. It feels like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? What the fuck? A strange sound rang through my head. Felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Fuck, dude. An empty bookshelf. Empty? Gone. It's all gone? The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that fell on the floor. It's all gone. What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back into my room, get some rest. Bruh. What the fuck is going on? My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thoughts. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. Yeah. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there. And after that... As if from a vast distance I heard a sound. It was faint but undeniable. That sound. It was coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. What the fuck? Oh no. Sakura's the spy? Before me there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No. No one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me?
Oh, or is Sakura just attacking him?
This wasn't part of the deal.
Oh. The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay. But you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
Oh. What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Could it be? The mastermind spy is... Dun dun dun! Holy shit! Things are getting crazy! Great. Well, I believe that is a good time for us to end today's stream, boys and girls, ladies and gents. I think we will end things here for tonight, and we will continue this tomorrow, and hopefully find out what the fuck is going on with all this, because shit's getting crazy. Oh my god. I mean, damn. The story's getting kind of, story's getting kind of intense. All of a sudden. Wow. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming and watching the stream. I'm going to head off for tonight. We will be continuing this tomorrow though at the same time. So make sure to stop by the stream tomorrow. And yeah, I'm going to go and get some food. Because I'm getting real hungry. And I'm going to chill out for the rest of the night before I go to bed. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching the stream. And I will see you all tomorrow when we continue more Danganronpa. Have a good night. Bye-bye.